Right, we are week 2. I'm hoping you are watching this either Sunday to get you ready for week 2 or Monday morning, but hopefully Sunday. So how did we do in week 1? So hopefully you've caught up on all of the lives last week, especially Friday. We had a good chat about goals and things that setting goals that are achievable goals and not overwhelming ourselves. Taking things day by day in bite-sized chunks, and just be realistic about where you are in the program and where you want to be at the end, and journal so that you know what you've perhaps struggled with in week 1 and you can really kind of knuckle down and focus on it in week 2. So we now know our non-negotiables, and especially my new people in the group, do please get in touch if there's anything you're not sure on. But we know we need to keep hydrated. We know we need good nutrition. So that's good fats, protein with every meal, and abundance of green veg. Think about veg also on your plate being the colours of the rainbow. So to know that you're getting all your phytonutrients, so your vitamins and minerals, if you really mix up your colours on your plate, you know you're getting a really wholesome, tasty meal. So nutrition, all clean, no sugar, removing the inflammatories, and again, making a note of how those foods have made you feel. You'll know instantly if you go back to, or if you've had at the weekend a point where you've just lapsed a bit. Maybe, I know Kelly mentioned it was her husband's birthday, if you have that bit of cake, which is fine, you've made that decision, you're accountable for it. So you do, and you enjoy, because the thing is, you get to the weekend and we all like to have a treat of sorts. And this is where I'm kind of coming into my talk about 5-2 or intermittent fasting. But we get to the weekend and we kind of need that little bit of a lift. What have we got to look forward to at the moment? Not a lot, but maybe a nice meal would be good with family, or a nice glass of wine, whatever that might be. Now, some of these things you'll try and they'll won't really have an effect. What I'm trying to get at is sometimes if you strip out, and if you've stripped out for long enough, sugary foods or perhaps dairy, coffee, all the things that possibly are the things that are creating inflammation in your gut, you pull them out and you feel amazing, and then all of a sudden you have that something and you feel instantly how it makes you feel pretty rotten, especially alcohol. So if you are journaling all the time, you will be able to start figuring these things out as we go through the 3 weeks. So how has your weekend been? Did you manage to stay completely clean, or did you perhaps allow yourself a little bit a day where you've had a tiny bit of wiggle room? So wherever you are with this, whether you're going real cold turkey the whole way through, or whether you're using it just to get your health back on track and to kick out unhealthy habits and bring back the healthy ones, wherever you are with it, it's now where you're going to go with it for week 2. Now, is it when we've kind of got through week 1, which I've really harped on about the fact of we just wanted to kind of get the basics in place, including your workouts. But week 2, are you wanting to think about possibly shifting and starting to shred those pounds? Obviously, it's what it's called, Live Lean Christmas Shred. And if you are, then we need to start thinking about calorie intake. It's just straight down the line. Any weight loss program is all about calorie deficit. And so moving more and eating well, and just keeping an eye on your portion sizes and how frequently you're eating, and obviously what you're eating. So I've mentioned before, you could have a really unhealthy diet but hardly eat anything and eat like a pigeon, compared to your friend who eats really healthily but 3 meals a day and possibly snacks on healthy foods as well. And, the weight loss difference is going to be quite substantial. There are lots of factors to weight loss and how quickly the weight falls off. First of all, you need to be aware of hormonal changes. Obviously, your age can differ, how active you are, because when you're in a place you want to be in terms of weight, so for instance, for me, I eat really clean all week, or I try to, unless something's going on. And of course, then I let my guard down if I've got a special event. But I tend to go 80, the kind of 5-2 approach. So I'll eat clean, and then it allows me a little bit of wiggle room at the weekend. But because I'm so active as well, everything kind of balances itself out. So I'm able to stay on a level. And I generally don't tip too much either way, although not sure so much now, I'm getting a bit older. So You want to start thinking about creating a calorie deficit, and there are many ways to do this and lots of protocols we could use. And one of the ones that we've used in some of the longer programs is tracking on MyFitnessPal. Now, I'm not going to talk about that today because that can be a little bit overwhelming, but just a really simple protocol that you can try next week. And being Sunday, what I would say is Monday is a brilliant day to do this. So your 5-2 or your intermittent fasting, or what it's now called is the new term is flexible dieting. You allow 5 days where you eat really well, really, really well, healthily, but then and then 2 days you either intermittent fast or you really cut back on your calories. So I'm not saying on the other 5 days eat really badly, but what I'm saying is if you allow 2 days of the week, and that could be any day, where you intermittent fast, reduce your calorie intake, then don't look at it as a day by day, I've had so many calories, but if over the week you will have cut your calories down quite considerably. So the way it works, I'm going to put a document up, is say I've had my meal at 7 o'clock one evening. I wait 17 hours or anywhere between 16 and 18 hours before I have my next meal the following day. And that needs to be a pint of water or a greens juice, followed by a protein-rich breakfast, or it would probably be lunch-style breakfast by then. So that's how it generally works. So how you would kind of implement this into your week is possibly you would wrap it around a weekend. So maybe you know that either a Friday or a Saturday that you've got something going on, or you're going to allow yourself a little bit of wiggle room. So the day after, you would allow yourself an intermittent fast. So allow that digestive system to rest and use the what it's got already inside for energy and for fuel. And then you can pop one into the week as well. It's however it's going to work best with you. But generally, it just gives you a little bit of leeway at the weekends if you want it. If you are being ultra strict and 200% down the line with this, then obviously you get to your weekends and you're probably going to try and go 7, 14, 21 days eating completely clean. But I'm just giving you the scenarios here because, as I say, you've got to make some decisions and be accountable for them. And this isn't about beating yourself up. There's no good, bad foods. And when we hit the weekend, and especially now being realistic, it may be that you want to have a little bit of wiggle room. An intermittent fast is just a great way for you to be able to do that. And I'm not saying have a massive blowout, absolutely no, because you're going to feel rotten the next day. Gut inflammation will come back. But at least then waking up the next morning, rather than kind of eating on top of what you've had the night before, you just allowing that rest period, your digestive system to completely rest out. Lots of water and hydration. Does that make sense? So they call it 5-2, intermittent fasting, flexible dieting, or some people even look at it as eat clean for 5 days, allow yourself 2 days off. Which is kind of what you're doing, but you need to have those 2 days where you're really reducing your calories quite extremely. And they say around sort of 600 to 1,000 calories on those 2 days that you're intermittent fasting. And the way you're able to do that is because you've literally just cut a meal out, haven't you? You've cut out your breakfast and you're just going to have a your lunch and your dinner. So it's 2 meals as opposed to your 3. So it is doable. And on those other days, you are still eating. On those other days that you're not intermittent fasting, you're eating really well, healthily, good carbs, good fats, not too many, and good protein. I hope that makes sense. I can talk more about if it's not clear, but moving forward, so to Monday, and if you're watching this Monday, probably too late for an intermittent fast, don't panic. You could do it Tuesday, it's not a problem. But it is a good day to do it. So try and watch this vid. I will prompt when I post it. Hopefully you've watched it on Sunday. So Monday is fitness test. Make sure you get that done. I've got some new workouts. I've posted those in the group. There was one missing, which I've still got to film. I didn't realise it hadn't loaded up. I've got to refilm it. So that will be added into the files section. So at the minute, I think you've got 4 workouts. I need to add one more in there, but there's plenty to be getting on with. So get your workouts in. And I think there was a question about, well, how many times are we doing this? And on the training days in the shopping list, it says have it on a training day. What if we're training every day? Well, yes, if you are training every day and you're doing, I want you to now, because it's week 2, try and up it a little bit. So maybe in week 1 you kind of break yourself in, perhaps did the workout once or twice through, but week 2 you need to be looking about 30 minutes if you can, and perhaps 5 days a week if you can. Again, don't stress yourself too much. You can only do what you can do, but if you're a runner, and perhaps tag a workout on the end, or if you don't run or do any of that cardio kind of style workouts, you know, the Lift Lean Fire workouts tend to have a bit of cardio in them as well. So you can repeat a workout through twice, you can tag 2 different ones together, you could tag 3 together, you can take a favourite from week 1 and couple it in with week 2, you know, but just try. There is no kind of right or wrong to this, but the key is your success is going to be down to what you do. So, you know, you've got to really put the effort in. You've got to pull out all the stops if you want awesome results. So that means lots of workouts, lots of healthy eating, lots of positivity, and stay accountable. So write a few small goals for this week. What you're going to work on, what you're going to focus on, share in the group, get your fitness test done. I am in live Monday morning for our plank challenge for week 2, which is 2 to 3 minutes. Exciting. If you didn't manage 2 minutes last week, don't worry. You're focusing on getting at least to 2 minutes and then working up to 3. Okay? Right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will see you first thing Monday.